Hello everyone, my name is Lucy. For today's recipe, I'm making a delicious chicken with dumplings. This is a complete meal in one dish. Join me in my kitchen to make this delicious recipe. For the ingredients, I'm preparing about 5 pounds of chicken thighs, about 2 thighs per serving, with skin on and bone in. I season them with salt and black pepper. 4 cups of chicken broth, 2 to 4 sliced carrots, all depends how much you like carrots and how big they are. 1/4 of a cup of dry sherry. Let me show you the bottle so you have an idea. 4 teaspoons of vegetable oil, 1/4 cup whole milk, salt and ground black pepper, 2 to 3 sliced celery ribs, a big onion, 1 teaspoon of minced thyme, 2 fresh or dry bay leaves, 3 tablespoons of minced fresh parsley, 4 tablespoons unsalted butter, 6 tablespoons of unbleached all-purpose flour. And to make the dumplings, we're going to use 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, 1 cup of whole milk, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon baking powder, and 3 tablespoons of chicken fat, which I'm going to reserve when I finish frying the chicken. In my big Dutch oven or pot, in high temperature on my stove, I'm going to heat about half of the portion of the vegetable oil so I can fry half of the portion of the chicken. I'm going to let the chicken brown in both sides, but especially the skin. I want the skin and the fat to practically melt into the oil. When one side is brown, I turn the chicken to the other side. And the chicken at this point, when you finish, doesn't have to be necessarily completely cooked. And before I remove from the Dutch oven, I'm going to remove the skin from the thighs. And I'm going to discard the skin. I'm going to remove this batch and continue with my second batch after I remove this oil from the Dutch oven. And reserving this fat because I'm going to use some of it for the dumplings. Once I remove the fat from the first batch of chicken, I continue with the second batch. Once I finish frying the chicken, I'm going to melt the butter inside the same Dutch oven. And it doesn't necessarily have to be cleaned up. Just melt the butter and add the vegetables. The carrots, the celery, and the onion. And I'm going to wait maybe for 10-12 minutes until the vegetables are soft. And I'm still cooking in high temperature. I sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper. Once the vegetables are soft, then we continue with the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to sprinkle the all-purpose flour, and the flour will make a nice gravy. The sherry, the milk, the chicken broth, I'm going to stir this mixture until it starts boiling. Add the bay leaves and the thyme. Once the sauce starts boiling, I'm returning the chicken thighs and bury them into the sauce, making sure they're completely covered with the sauce. I'm going to lower the temperature to low, and I'm going to cover the Dutch oven and let it cook for 1 hour. In the meantime, I'm making the dumplings. For the dumplings, first I mixed 1 cup of milk with a reserved 3 tablespoons of chicken fat. Place them in the microwave for about 1 minute or until it's warm, but no boiling. Then I mix the all-purpose flour with the salt and baking powder, and then I mix the milk mixture with the flour mixture to make a dough. Work it with your hand for a couple minutes, and then we're going to start making little balls. We need to remember that this ball will double the size when they are cooking inside the sauce. So you can make them as big as you want, but keep that in mind. I'm making about 18 to 20 balls. Some of them came out too big, so I'm cutting them. And I'm going to cover this bowl with saran wrap until I'm ready to place them inside the sauce. After an hour, I'm going to uncover the Dutch oven, and I'm going to remove the chicken from the sauce. Place it in a bowl. And the reason I'm removing the chicken is because I want to remove the bone. I'm going to shred in big chunks the meat, and I'm going to discard the bone. I want to remind you that all the ingredients and the steps for this recipe are below this video in the description area. If you have seen some of my videos where I'm making chicken, you very well know that I don't like to see bones or skin in my recipes. I'm discarding these bones, making sure there's no bone left in my bowl. I'm adding the parsley to the sauce and placing back the chicken. And my stove still in simmer or very low temperature. Once the chicken is in, then I add the little dumplings. Make sure they're separate from each other so they don't stick together when they are cooking. And remember, they double the size. Bury them in the sauce, cover your pot or Dutch oven, and let it cook for an additional 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, your dish is ready. Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. It will be one of your favorite recipes. I can guarantee you that. My chicken is ready to be served. I hope you like this video and that you come back to see me again. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.